Welcome to Orders Readings 5D. I'm a psychic medium. We are here to do your guided messages for this month, as well as I am going to be covering weekly energy for your zodiac signs pertaining to romance. So if you do want to have a look at those, please click the bell. Also keep an eye on the community tab where I update you of regular content that has been uploaded. Very separately, we have the Twin Flame Collective Energy that I'll be coming to you monthly with, and feel free to join us for all the super chats. So please sit back, relax, enjoy the channeled messages. If you have any questions, please write them in the comment box directly below, and if you're wanting a booking, the information is within the video. Love and light, guys. Let's get into the read. Welcome back, Cancer. We are here to do your psychic reading, which out of all the zodiacs, don't ask me why, yes, the blue lipstick is for Mercury. We do have a Mercury retrograde. Your zodiac, for some reason, has two ruins. What's up in the hood with your zodiac? Let's have a look. Now, even prior to, I pulled the cards, I've tuned into them, I've got your crystal. I do have a lot of Cancerian clients. I do have Cancer in my chart. I always find this whole process from a psychic perspective very interesting. Now, I did walk away. I was waiting for the previous video to upload, and I had it in the book ready to go. And then I sat down and unconsciously selected another and put it on the table. And then I noticed there were two times I had done something very similar, and it does feel you have two paths. Now, it may be a circumstance from the past coming back. We're going to tune into them because I'm going to find this process as a psychic medium very unique. Number one, just briefly looking at it, you're very tired of old patterns. Now, if you're feeling extremely fatigued moving into the month of February, I highly advise, especially from my channel messages on Instagram, very separate to here, I did have a brief talk about Mercury retrograde. So if you do want to go and have a look at that, go have a look. I will be actually coming back and doing another one on here, hopefully if time permits. Now, you do have the orange crystal. Now, it's in reverse, which can be two things. A, it's imbalanced. There's an overactivity or underactivity. And you'll know when there is in your chakra system. And I'm going to tune into what these subjects are in romance. But we have weekly romantic updates coming. Doing my best to pull it together. Okay. Now, number one. The orange crystal, any orange energy, when it's overactive and underactive, it can be fair-based frequency. It can be deep passion, love, fair-based frequency, intimacy, and then nonchalant. So there's something going on there, okay? Very important to pay attention to diet during that. Sometimes you can go on food, off food. It can be overindulgent and just nonchalant, sort of like this detached frequency. I do feel you're going to balance that out. Now, creative flows through me in a myriad of ways. I courageously bring my ideas into action. Definitely the orange chakra. All right. So it can be addictive tendencies. It can be overeating. It can be the not wanting to eat at all, not feeling, food don't taste that good, Bryan Adams. Yeah, that. Now, if that's happening, you can eat the orange food groups. You can use citrine or this crystal, which will help balance. I've got to get the right angle of the camera. It's a bit like a mirror effect, really. And this can help balance it. Guided meditation, food groups relating to that. You can be entering February sort of like, yeah, that I don't like, that I do like. Very matter of fact. Now, the crystal that's there is there to guide us through a romantic path as well as our week-to-week energy through the chakras and the clarifiers. Let's have a look at the crystal. Not the crystal, the ruin. The first one that come out, what's such? We're going to look if it's in the upright and the reverse. And then we'll look at the other one and find out the reasons why. And I'm kind of understanding even just based on your first week by the cards. I'm like, okay, this is going to be fun. So the first one, and I put a card in the book, so I think it's going to have an additional message because you've got a unique read. It connects to the moon, okay? And now you're navigated by the moon. Protection. I knew it. Okay, protection. This can be your security. This can be to do with your finances. Now, what are the main things coming up this month? A, we have Mercury retrograde. B, we have Mercury entering Venus. We also have Saturn and Jupiter. Mercury entering, Aquarius entering Venus. And we also have Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius, and then Venus entering Aquarius. Plus, we have a brand new moon at 23 degrees on the 11th, and great aspects relating to romantic connections. Now, you are in the element of the 8th house, which means, what do we need to let go of? What do we bring in? Where is the stability? Where is the intimacy? So uniquely, yes, this is coming up for you. This can be this deep, deep need for strong connections, stable connections, viable paths, working hard, but wanting to have and needing to communicate these things. Sometimes we keep our cards close to our chest. We're very guarded. It can be inner child. It can be an imbalance between the yellow and the orange chakra. And in a manifestation sense, when we have blockages, we can attract that dynamic. When they are flowing, we can attract the high vibe of that. So it's purely through the work we do and the vibration we're at, a bit like a battery, that we can attract that, like the laws of attraction. You do have two paths here. Now, it is to do with the past, present, and future. And you're in a portal at the moment, moving through that. And I do feel you're going to be pretty darn blunt when it does come to what you do and don't like. This can be throat chakra activation. Oh, yeah. Haven't put it on too great today. Moon, seal, duck, water. Pay attention to your emotions. This can be a very emotional week. Journey across water, imagination, intuition, artistic creativity and fluidity. Esoteric, soul journey, psychic powers, initiator of dreams. You're following your destiny. Now, Uranus and Taurus is calling upon us all to look at, yes, the reality of what our responsibilities are, and the growth, the intention that if we're, gonna take that on, we're going to actually get something out of that situation through our share blood, sweat, and tears, might I add. Because it is a metal ox year. We are in the vibration of 5 this year, which means change, change, change. And what does change cause? Angst, fear, vibrational distortion. So you do need to really protect your crown chakra, but it's not really just crown chakra. It's more what our ego feels is stability. We're going to learn to be resilient. We're going to learn that the sun comes up, the sun goes down, the moon goes up. That's a permanency. Everything in our life that changes is impermanent, but it doesn't mean it has to be full of angst, fear, and anxiety. So it's going with that, Abraham Hicks. Not rowing against it, but following your inner flow and knowing what is going to serve you. So I do feel at the moment there could be two things playing out. And I'll get into the next room. Now, what this could be relating to, it's in the upright, which is like something's no longer defining you. So a past tense circumstance potentially can be playing out in the month of February and probably kicked off last month, but it's really coming in. Mercury retrograde brings all sorts of characters out of the woodworks, I'm just saying. And as that happens, you may not be too impressed and you can be creating really healthy boundaries. My name is no, my number is no, you've got to let it go. And so it appears to be such. Now, in the old way of being, you may have been afraid of change. You may have been procrastinating. Now, the funny thing is, yours is in the upright. So something relating to the past does not resonate with you anymore. You're going to come into that circumstance in a very different fashion. So if somebody is trying to take you back to a way of being, you may be a bit blunt. You got the 8th house there. That was like, and it can be something to the degree of that was gone. It doesn't resonate with me any longer. The reason I'm saying that is because you have the element of the orange chakra coming through. It's 8th house. It's what is the viability of this? Am I committed to this? Is the commitment there on all sides? This can be with work, with love, with family. It's orange, okay? I'm just saying. Research the orange chakra. Anger, fear, control, lust, addictivity, flowing. Moon energy, emotions, trust them. What's going on? Your first card for the week. Things that don't resonate with you. Lackluster. What are those things? I do feel it's This can be with the same given person, something that doesn't work anymore, and wanting that deeper connection and fatigue. Number one, I do feel you're moving into the week tired. You do need to balance that. Number two is I do feel there could be two energies because you've got two crystals, two roads. One old road, one you're already on and moving towards. Now, one of them doesn't resonate with you. This can be an old dynamic. It can be a replay of the Mac, whatever it is. I don't feel you too impressed. And it can be you like not even paying attention to it, but it's almost like you feel you've detached, you've completed that cycle. If it's coming back, it doesn't have to be a personal thing. It can be that that person potentially hasn't completed that cycle in their life and they need to resolve it. Nevertheless, I do see it that you're not seeing it coming. You're very focused on your own situations and trying to keep your vibe high. And you're not afraid. It's not you're afraid. You're just not looking. You're very focused on what's going to resonate with you. If they think you're that small man down there, you're definitely not. And this can be man or feminine. It's when we say man, it's the element of strength, you know, how you're being assertive, how you're showing up. Empath is emotions. I directly understand you. Masculine element inside of us is the hunter-gatherer. It's the things we do, the actions we take. It's the masculine-orientated polarity in society and within ourselves. So I do feel I've got to find the finger with the opposite of the... It's amazing what you have to learn, right? Okay, so the masculine inside of us, we may have been afraid, fearful, maybe jumping to addictivity and ego, but you're seeing both sides, but you're also a different person now. So the way you're going to relate to these circumstances, if somebody felt that you were a pushover, you were over emotional, they're probably going to see that that's not so now. So you could be rejecting a circumstance or an energy that maybe used to project towards you, and that will not work with you this month. That will be quite... You may be reactory, but you may ignore it initially, but it can start making you cross, if they really force the issue. Because there is a circumstance where, in a non-codependent fashion, you're attracting that what resonates with you. Now, from a romantic sphere, this could be a past person, and this could be a current person. Now, how is that going to play out for those of you that are single? The person needs to have transformed. But if you are setting your intentions and you know what you're attracting in, that vibration is going to come in the same fashion, but it's going to be brand new and you're going to be operating in a different fashion. It's not just going to be about intimacy. It's going to be about the spiritual connection. For some of you, there could be two. An old path you left that has not come to terms with it, which can be karmic energies. Or it could be, and you're currently on a path. Because the reason I'm saying that, and it's the vibe I'm getting, if you're fatigued and you're in a connection, the person's going to directly understand. Something that hasn't healed is coming back. I don't feel it's connected to them. I feel it's a separate circumstance. You can be discussing these things and trying to work through, okay, how do we find that ideal picture in our connection? But at a level, there is something of an old toxic energy that might be coming in for a revisit, but I do feel you, Cancer, can be rejecting it. It's not attractive to you. So you tried to co-create that. You put a lot of energy in it. It took a lot of energy from you, and now that doesn't resonate with you. So an equal frequency needs to come to the table. Work, I do feel you've been working hard. I feel some of you do need a break. But again, if you balance the orange chakra, you'll have a bit more energy to be able to achieve these things in the month of February. And you will find that where you thought things were going to be super terrible, they're actually going to end up being absolutely great. You do need to trust the process. It's a shake-up and a change. You can have tension on the 6th and the 7th when it does come to communication and connections, and that can be at work and in love. But overall, the beautiful aspects can come through of the new moon in Aquarius, because we also have Venus there, and that can be both at work, within love, and your social connections, and new friends will be coming towards you. But you're having a reset at the moment when it does pertain to your hopes, dreams, aspirations, your goals with joint ventures, where you're going. So initially, if you're nonchalant, it is because you're having almost like a soul upgrade. You're having a reset, so to speak. You're assessing those dynamics, and the need to upgrade at the moment and keep your energy resources high is important. So when you can, tap into nutrition. Tap into guided meditation or use of crystals. I know that for the Cancerian in my life, which is my twin, I've already said to him, you're having citrine under your pillowcase, my love. And I'm doing guided meditation for him because we both have that in our chart. And yes, we have, even prior moving into that energy, felt quite depleted. And it can be due to excess of work, you name it. Second week. What's coming through for you guys? Oh, better read the other crystal before we go any further. And I had it and the card fell out. That's how it reminded me. You probably heard me really loud then. Sorry. Worthiness. Okay. The Ruin. One path, two path, right? Worthiness. Know what that you deserve to receive good in all ways. Cancer. Okay. The Ruin. Black. Oh, okay. This came up in a previous read. I think it was for Scorpio, which is quite ironic. It's like, I think collectively we're purging that what doesn't resonate with us. We're psychically protecting ourselves. It's like, okay, I'm not doing this. Now, it is to do with earth and fire. So, yes, there can be aggression. Yes, there can be passion, but you feel you have to protect yourself. And if you've already gone through a karmic path and a cycle of you've been there, done that, and you've learnt it, I just feel that you're going to be very careful about the way you handle this. You're not afraid. You will address this head on. You'll be very assertive. You'll be like, I'm not that inner child energy. That circumstance that you used to manipulate me with, be it it was work, guilt, money, family, children, abandonment, whatever it was, that won't work anymore because you've outgrown that. So you've moved beyond, you've upgraded, you've healed, it no longer defines you. And with this, it is to do with old value systems because it connects to Capricorn. So if those themes come up last month and they're coming up again just in the beginning, especially because it's Mercury retrograde and you have situational shifts from the past come up, I feel you'll pass with flying colours. I don't feel you guys want to scavenge anymore. So if, it's not the sediment at the bottom of the barrel and that's good enough for Cancer, it's very much, okay, we're going to have the fruits of our labour. If we're putting the energy in, we're putting it all in and we expect the same out of circumstances, but you're investing correctly. Now would not be the time to have hunch energy and make huge decisions when it comes to monetary related dynamics, only because it's Mercury orientated. Wait till after the 21st. Not a financial advisor, I'm just saying, okay? Yeah, you could get some losses. It's a great time to sell things, I will say that. Now, personal needs, which ironically enough, it's worthiness. It's like you're grasping that now. You're like, I can give, but you never satisfied. So it's like I'm looking at my personal needs now. Personal needs, self-preservation, and invention. Esoteric, spiritual needs, deliverance from distress. You're not putting up with that no more. Self-mastery and transcendence. Why? Because there was greed, impatience, and extinguishing of your personal fire. So, orange chakra, you're taking your power back, Cancer. Let's get into the rest of the week. And you'll resonate with this going through the read, I'm sure, and connect it. So, with connections, you know your worth. You will pick what you feel is, a good exchange rate for you in a connection. You're going to be thinking about it, talking about it, reacting towards it, tackling these circumstances. Now, it's not saying it's going to be perfect right away. It is saying you have the strength to deal with this. You need to look after yourself. You need to put yourself first. Aeroplanes going down, put the mask on. That keeps coming up. I hope I'm not going to see it in the bloody news. Anyway, so put the mask on, look after oneself first, then we can help others. And Aquarius is a humanitarian. So if you feel you have to give to everyone, you can't if you're not giving to you. Give to you first, upgrade. You're already in that energy. Something's depleted you. You may be purging a circumstance as you move forward to the second week. Old family related dynamic, oh joys. And Capricorn energy is your shadow sign. The ruin relates to Capricorn. So a relationship, family related dynamic can be coming up. And you may not resonate with the vibe. There could be old and new. Maybe a foundation needs changing. You could be at work and not be having enough time at home. And it is because you want to buy a home or you want to change homes. However that's playing out for you, you're going to be goal orientated by the second week. You're filling the cup, but you're filling the bank. You're like, okay, let's do what we need to do. Now, your romantic interest, the person you're inquiring about, they're also getting downloads, okay? So they're in the bigger picture mode. They're in the tuning into it. I do feel they'll know why you're reacting a certain way and from where you're coming from. It's funny because I'm guided to the images on the clarifier. Fill the well. There's 3 feminines on the card and there's one at the top. Now, the one at the top theoretically could be third time lucky. This could be, again, 4, which is family and astrology. Plus your energy of Cancer, so yes, family. You got base chakra, family, foundation. It's all coming up. Third party energy, external influences. It's different now, but I feel, if anything, they're very intuitive. Your counterpart energy, your love interest is very intuitive. They may be looking, wanting a very deep, deep spiritual connection. You may not feel very grounded and connected. You may wish for that too, but I do feel in the second week you can be very 3D. You can be to the point, gee, I've got a lot going on. There's too much coming at you. Working very hard. You're both on the same level, but I feel from a spiritual point of view, you're doing it, Cancer, more in the 3D. That's what you feel is within your control. And this person is doing it more from a manifestation point of view, from a viewpoint. They're getting psychic downloads. But I do feel the connection, they psychologically understand your commitments, your responsibility. So there's compassion, love, and understanding. But they also know that this is a part of a soul path for you. They're doing their work, you're doing yours. Your circumstances appear to be quite challenging by the second week, and I think most of ours is quite challenging, but you're going to get the harvest of that. It's like those 3 circumstances that were quite taxing in previous years to you. It's all coming back to you where I feel your career sector is going to flourish. You're going to address your wounds relating to what work you put in. I feel a lot of you can be looking at health as well, especially by the second and the third week. And when it does come to the give and take, you know, those energies you put in, you will get out of it, but you do need to look after yourself with that vibration. There are some major decisions I feel you're ready to make, but you're keeping your cards close to your chest till you've made peace with that to address what you're going to do moving forward. On the third week, as we have the full moon in Virgo, let's quickly have a look at your chart to get you prepared for that, because you are moon orientated energy, and both moons can be purgatory, expressive, and they will give you some element of change through those processes because you've navigated by the moon. You guys may really yearn to get away. You may hear from somebody from afar. There can be subjects to do with schooling and education. You do have the yellow energy, but children. So subjects to do with children can come up, as well as just you. I feel it's like you're yearning to be playful, yearning to have fun. Maybe having a little bit more time to actually do those things. And maybe even if you don't, you're making that time. And I do feel it's because you are in that self-worth energy. If things are going a bit nutty, I do feel, yeah, it's like some of you, again, movement come up. Now, whatever this is, it could be due to circumstances, but I feel it's more a long-term plan than it's happening right away. For some of you, it may be happening right away, but you do need a change of scenery. This can be you going somewhere with somebody very special, or directly just choosing, hey, I'm going to make myself the special energy and I'm actually going to go for a drive. I'm going to go on a weekend away, a weekday away, whatever it be. But there is playful energy. Some of you can be very adventurous now this time and we can, it's in the upright, I don't feel it's negative. I feel it's more playful. You're just having a physical, psychological holiday. You can be exercising, hiking, camping, dancing, listening to music, but it feels going away. Some of you are making major plans as to where you're going to move though. This can be where you intend to live, where you want to purchase, where you want to be in life, and they can be plans with your connection because they're in the same energy. And this is dual energy of working together. I do feel both of you will be in the same frequency to be able to attract that, and you're going to attract like-minded individuals into your life, Cancer. Last week, and then obviously I'll have more channeled messages for you. Now, monetary related dynamics and an unexpected bill, as well as a circumstance that needs to be addressed by the end of the month. This can be at a financial level, changing things around, tightening your belt. I feel it's a finalization. This is how it's coming through. You'll be very, very happy. The hard work, what you've worked for has cleared the slate to a point you're back on an even level. But I do feel, again, you may be tired. You may have worked extremely hard. Your romantic interest is feeling great love towards you. There is great love and great passion, great appreciation. But you feel, to a degree, I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit. It is in the 5 energy. There might be one last thing that you need to do, and that can be a very tedious task. But you will have the energy and support in a loving way. And it's also saying don't worry about the fact that, something major went out, something really major is coming back, and you're so close. So trust that process. I'm going to pull a clarifier. Yeah, it's almost like once you've completed that one thing, if it's one more bill, whatever it is, whatever that thing is, there's all gunzo as we move into March. So trust the process. Whatever you didn't value, you could also be detoxing, clearing up debt, changing things up, maybe even getting communication, but it's not going to deter from the positivity that's coming through in 2021 for you. Like I said, January, February was that initiation into the energy of Aquarius. March can be unique as well, but we'll tune into that later. At this point, I am seeing massive movement, but you are protected. There is movement. Everything that's happening is for a reason. And again, ironically enough, it says your heart's desires are here. So from love, from your contracts, from the connections that you choose by the end of the month, you're in the right place at the right time. So the hard work and energy will pay off inside of you and the rest will flow through. Now, stay tuned for these last messages. I will see you during the month. See you soon. Take care. Now, a very punchy update. We do have, as I said, the member zone. Very separately, please click the bell because I will put the info in the community tab when the romance reads are up, and also when I do come to you live for the twin flame, the astrology updates, the moon energies and more. Thank you so much for joining me. Yes, we do have the member zone as I mentioned, and it will have in the future, it already has pre-release videos for the zodiacs. Very separately, we also will have the extension reads in there and the twin flame coaching. Also, if you're needing a booking, the link is directly below. Otherwise, feel free to join me for the super chats during the month. I answer your questions at the end of all videos. Love and light, guys. I'll talk to you soon.